And a great big hey, howdy, hey to all my goofy goobers out there. Welcome back to Animanic Commentaries with Comic Auzi.
And Disney.Fanatic.
And tonight we'll be watching the 2005 Disney animated feature, Chicken Little. Honey, what are your thoughts?
This is interesting movie. And, you know, I never really hated it. I always had some fun with it as a kid, but... You know, if you looked at it as, like, best movie from Disney ever, probably wouldn't be there. It's kind of all over the place, but, yeah. I don't hate it. It's fun.
I think there are very...
I've always had fun with it.
There are very few movies that I would put beneath this movie as far as Disney movies go. And, I'll probably do a ranking of all these movies by the time we're fucking done here, but, I think, there'd probably be one movie I'd put under this, and I'm having a hard time placing which one it would be out of any of the films in the next era, because everything in this era is always hit or miss, even to the point where I don't even dislike Dinosaur that much. It's just boring. You know, maybe Dinosaur would go below this, because at the very least, Chicken Little is interesting. Dinosaur is just kind of slow. Yes, I know we watched it. I know it's emotional. I know there's a whole thing.
It's very hard for me to have a Disney animated movie I hate, do you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like, boredom can be probably the worst thing a movie gives you. This movie is not boring. I'll definitely say that. Y'all want to get your copies ready while I go ahead and state my points. Like you, I enjoyed this film when I was growing up. Definitely a lot of fun. Definitely very silly. And for all intents and purposes, it is supposed to be a comedy. It's Mark Dindal. It's the same guy as Emperor's New Groove. And Cats Don't Dance. And he'll also be directing the upcoming Garfield movie. And, well, he's dealt with orange cats before,
really?
so I trust him. So, honestly, yeah. Honestly, what I've seen of the Garfield movie looks good. It's like, I'll probably put up with Chris Pratt. I think his Mario was pretty good, but I don't know. The only thing about Garfield is that you have to sound tired, and most of his lines in that trailer sound too energetic.
Is it going to be like, you know, the Bill Murray version of Garfield was like great casting, terrible movie, and this is going to be maybe a great movie, terrible casting?
You never know. I mean, yeah, probably, because the one requirement of Garfield's voice is that, but we're getting out into the weeds here.
We really are getting off topic.
Sad this movie replaced a great female protagonist. Yes, because Chicken Little in the original fairy tale, you can also find many book versions of it. Chicken Little's a girl. Yeah, this is a true fact.
She was going to be a girl.
She was.
Like some of the early storyboards have her as a girl.
And even like there's a finished but not fully finished, like it's in black and white animation, like a rough animation, completed animation, but I think it's like the lighting wasn't done and the colors. It was like all in black and white. Like Disney was testing things out, and it has girl Chicken Little, and you know what? And gotta give some credit, honestly. I'm glad he was able to transition well, but in all seriousness, I think they really wanted like a father-son dynamic, because I think they were probably having story issues with trying to get the father-daughter dynamic to work comedically the way they wanted, and the comedy that they go for. Well, we'll see how I feel about it. Like I want to try to remove like other people's opinions. One particular YouTube critic who got very angry at SpongeBob for some reason, cemented this opinion in me that Butt Cluck is a horrible monster, and like I kind of want to try. I want to try to remove that. I want to go in with a cool head about it and judge it on my own terms, because I haven't watched the movie in forever. Okay, so like honestly, I just want to. We don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about that, Scribe. I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay.
That sounds like a...
Okay.
So, who's that? Nah, I don't know who that is. Anyway, but if you have your copy, any copy, this movie has a custom logo, so don't worry about the logos not matching up. Everything will be good and clear to clutch up. And before I forget, everyone can see it on the stream. My honey bunny, you can see it now, can you not? Little caution cone.
Oh, unmute it. Yeah, I muted it last time when we were going through credits, so yeah.
Fair enough. And so, I like to mute the credits too, or at least turn the volume down. Anyway, we shall begin the movie in 3, 2, 1, Go!
Okay. I forgot they had the opening like this. The logo, I mean.
Honestly, I think this logo is a great summation of what Disney has done successfully for Disney Animation's first fully CGI feature, and that is the CGI is good. The textures are good. It's a good aesthetic. And this is them trying to be funny.
It was also kind of an inside joke because they couldn't figure out how to begin this film.
They definitely had like a lot of different openings. One of those openings was a scared female Chicken Little in her bed. Yeah.
Yeah, because this one here, they had actually fully animated.
They hadn't fully finished it, but they finished like a good chunk of that. Oh, this version of the opening.
No, they had done it with like the whole storybook and everything.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, they did finish that, and then he saw the book in a store window. I gotta admit, like
and then this is a bit of a Hunchback of Notre Dame reference too.
I love the build up. Like, this is a pretty funny way to open a movie. Not gonna lie, like let's literally just open up with catastrophe. Hi, Blue Kitten, and the rabbits.
You know, I like the theory that this is like the same universe as Zootopia.
It would be interesting.
Like, well, I mean, Zootopia doesn't have the anthropomorphic birds, but this could have been like, you know, in a different era when we had the anthropomorphic birds.
Yeah, well, Zootopia has the difference of, like, much less cartoony.
Yes,
like,
that's what I mean. Like, it could have been a different era of the Earth.
Yeah, nobody
like
in this...
evolutions.
Yeah, but this seems more in line with those Mickey Mouse or, like, a Goofy movie worlds. Because in Zootopia, there's the threat of death. In this movie, nobody can die. It's a cartoon world.
I mean, it could be very well, like, not in Zootopia vicinity, but, you know, it's a big world. Could be another town.
Probably more of a Monsters, Inc. situation. You walk through a portal door to another universe, and then here's other talking animals.
Okay, but what I don't get is how are they watching a human movie?
Cartoon world! And the Mickey Mouse Club theme when the cars honk. M-O-U-S-E.
Also, this movie has the great late Don Knotts, so...
God rest his soul. Yeah.
I think they got all this from just a teeny little fable that only takes a few pages.
Yeah, and note that they do recycle a lot of the cartoon models. Like, the leopard was in the busted movie theater, and then he was at Town Hall. It's like it is economical to just recycle the models when they're just background extras. At least we never see duplicates of them in the same shot. Then again, it's been a while since I've seen this movie. And now, I want to give Cluck a little bit of the benefit of the doubt for a minute, because how would you believe that? The town is a little rude at this point.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I think this kind of works with him as a boy, because I don't know, like it's kind of like having Milo Thatch again.
Imagine having the mayor yell at you. That's got to be a minute.
Because you know, he's not a macho male protagonist. He's what we in the writing world would call a beta male.
But yeah, no. I do like the rendering on this. Like, I don't know if that's a CG model, if they just freehand painted it, but like, that's good rendering, making it look like a billboard poster kind of thing. It's pretty neat. And another cute little thing I like is how when will you let it go? But also, like,
I imagine as a parent you get frustrated too when everyone keeps making fun of your kid.
I kind of like how his car is both like a VW Beetle and it's the shape of an egg. It's the shape of an egg. And I also recall some YouTuber also like commenting on how the world doesn't make any sense, but it's like they're cartoon jokes. Like, the fish is in a fishbowl car. It's like,
oh my God, I just realized that bull is in the China shop.
Ha! See, it's serviceable for gags. That's all it is.
Okay, here's something I never got. Why is he driving him to the bus stop?
Probably because
why not just drive him straight to school?
Because school is out of the way. He's probably driving to work. Like, but what does he do for work? We never know that. Like, that would actually establish something important.
The only bus stop in town. Why do you have to drive him to the bus stop? Usually they're bus stops you just walk around the corner for.
Okay, it's clearly not the only bus stop because Chicken Little was the last student to pick up, and fucking everyone else is already on the bus. Yeah, he really did. It's like, he was basically like, why did you just pretend not to exist? And like, Chicken Little's like, yeah, fuck that shit. It's like, he's not gonna take his father's advice. It's like, and now I think we're getting into the Shrek comparisons. Oh, never mind. Everyone board. You know, maybe this is the only bus stop in town. Everyone just got on the, I forgot, everybody gets on the bus here.
There is something problematic about what happens to Foxy Loxy's character, which
we'll
get into when we get there.
We'll get that. But there's a little bit of a Shrek comparison that could be made here. And I think it's not unwarranted because, well, here we have an original song written for this movie. Unlike pretty much anything in Shrek, but we do get to hear a bunch of other pop songs in the movie. But like, it is kind of interesting how, like, the songs are kind of representative of what the characters are actually doing, but maybe not necessarily how they're feeling about it. But in that, as well, like in Shrek, there is a character who wears their heart on their sleeve and is the only character to sing in this whole movie.
Look.
Yeah, I do like that.
The Mulan reference.
Ah, nice. And
I do. This kid just has the worst luck.
Yep.
But he doesn't let it get it down. And
no.
You know what's sad about his character?
We definitely get a good establishment of this kid and like how he really just makes the best of a bad situation.
You know, it's kind of like a predecessor to Milo Murphy.
In a way, yeah.
Except Milo's not made fun of it, but
yeah, I think if everything was falling apart around you, everybody would be like, dude, are you okay? Like, literally billboards breaking and shit. It's not just him getting into shenanigans.
But you know, I was bullied a lot in school. If I made one little mistake, and then people harp on you for the rest of your life about it.
Absolute fucking
And you wonder why
shit.
I'm such a perfectionist.
Woof. But like, there is a character who is earnest, like in Shrek, who just wears their heart on their sleeve and and actually sings in earnest, and it's Runt. I'm not gonna count the karaoke moment, but like Runt always sings. He wears the heart on his sleeve. He's the donkey to this movie's Shrek, the movie.
Okay, you could tell he's been through this so many times.
He's really got it down to a science, even though that was math homework. Good lord.
Math homework which he apparently left in his locker. Yeah.
Yep.
Why would they even give him the topic?
You wonder.
And here's Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
After rejecting Disney roles for a long time due to the Star Trek The Next Generation schedule conflicts.
Well, now that wasn't a problem.
I forget, was Bambi 2 before or after this?
It was around the same time-ish. One thing I really love as a really good example is that the textures are really good. One thing that's really weird is this design isn't that great, like, without the helmet. Like, without the helmet, he would look really bad, but with the helmet, he looks great. It's kind of a design paradox right there. Pay attention to that animation. It's really good animation, just the way she follows through on her movements. It's like, they actually use a wide-angle shot on... Yeah. As great as she actually is ugly. Not unappealing. Not unappealing to look at.
I do love Abby.
She is great. And here it is again. And they just recycle the animation. Didn't even redo the lip sync because the lip sync was pretty similar anyway. is like recycling animation. Like they really did give it the feel of like old Disney cartoons. Like they figured out how to apply textures really well. Like the textures are really good.
This
The
gotta
animation
be the
is really
most
good.
boring class ever.
The employment of squash and stretch is really, really good, if over the top at times. But look at how zippy that animation is. Like, they really know what they're doing.
How's that? This guy should be fired.
Good lord. I think this is just how the town operates. The town is mean. The town is rude. A sardonic fucking town where everyone only gives a shit about themselves except for some kind of town pride, and anyone who doesn't fulfill on that town pride.
I wanted to note that, yeah, Disney has done, in the past, had done shorts on Chicken Little and the Ugly Duckling.
That is true, they did. You should watch the classic Chicken Little short. It's got a really funny ending.
These two are an underrated couple.
Yeah, that is true. Though, I mean, underrated and also overstated. Like, okay, see?
A little rushed, maybe, but...
That is really good.
You know,
that is
I mean,
really
look
good
at how they
animation
work from the start.
Where it gets squashed. Yeah.
Maybe go straight to video. You're saying a lot, Disney.
Yeah. They shuttered the 2D animation department because their movies weren't doing well. Except for their direct-to-video movies in 2D. Note, I don't think they have a warthog model in this movie at all. Yep. How can anyone forget a James Bond movie? Ba-dum-ba! Anyway. Pretty good.
It was really good working together there.
Pretty good joke. And, yeah.
No, that's still true today, except
yeah.
Instead of flip phones, we have smartphones.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You know, like, she's got some good advice here. And the animation also, just watch the her thinky walk. And kick. Look at the way they I think they I think the animator like expanded the size of her foot to really make that image pop.
Cusack, that was the name I was looking for. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like she's adorable, she's funny. And here's another thing. The movie comes out in 2009 and like the thing is like, yeah, this was
2005.
pretty yeah, this was pretty like I'm pretty sure there are some teen agonies that still get subscribed to and still get read, but like not as prevalently as they were back in the 90s and early 2000s, or even the 80s for that matter. Even Disney had their own teen magazine attempt, like where they just like talk about the next hot celebrity.
I was reading teen magazines like Discovery Girl around this time.
I love how they just have the dodgeball roll in just because, yeah, and then yeah, to have him lean on it, yeah.
You know what? This was me interacting with you for a good chunk of the time we knew each other.
I love the extra teeth they put in her mouth for that. That's a very cartoon animation thing to do. Yeah, just
this is why you need a couple of gal friends, Abby.
Yeah.
Just to balance things out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to prove her point.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That was a
dick move.
It worked because of what happened there.
Yeah. And this is actually one of the examples that Disney would use for their squash and stretch examples. Look, they really got him flat up on that window. Like,
I can confirm there are girls who will be that mean.
I love that look on her face, just the glee. I love that animation. Uh-oh. Yep. Shit happens. Now, this really was not his fault at all. None of this today has been his fault.
Okay, but it does look like he... And there's Wallace Shawn.
Being a principal in another cartoon animal movie. And this principal is also a dog. Science slumber parties. Maybe if you spent more time with your son, he wouldn't be headed for the electric chair. Also, yeah. Dick move.
Jeez, don't say it that way. Don't say that.
Everyone in this town is a dick. The mayor's a dick. The townsfolk are dick. His dad's a dick.
Like,
Listen to
this.
this.
He doesn't have to be like his dad.
Why? Because you believe the principal at his word, or because you just don't want to hear it right now? What the fuck, dude? Like, why did they stay so late?
This is what they're telling him, like, what, every week?
I think probably because they wanted a dramatic... They probably stayed so late because they wanted a dramatic nighttime scene. Even though it is totally summer and not winter, it wouldn't be this dark out so early, so it is probably pretty late. Yeah. That footage got used in the trailer with him dubbed over the line saying, "In about 3 seconds, I'm gonna scream like a little girl." You can see you can see on his face that he's like really scared. But the thing is, like, what we know about this character though is that he's not scared for his safety. He is scared because he's afraid of his son disappointing him.
Yes, he's afraid of failure.
What the fuck, dude?
He's afraid of more failure.
I think this is the point at which where he's like, you're just going to fail. Like, you are way too small to play baseball, like, physically. It's like, yeah, he's scared for him, but he's also, like, he's scared for him embarrassing himself, and by proxy, embarrassing him. It's still, like, embarrassment, no matter what way you look at it. You know? It's like, kind of dropping the ball a little early, but like, yeah, no, like, the more I know, like, from now, and like, the more I remember from the later half of the movie, it's like, yeah, no, he's as fucking shallow as the rest of the town, is only concerned about his own reputation. Chicken Little's like the only one who, like, aside from his core friend group, and probably the other unpopular students, who actually gives a shit about what, you know, doesn't give a shit about what other people think.
Here's the thing, and you know, it's still true today.
Like,
that parents are not very good at teaching their children how to fail.
Yeah.
And so when they do fail, at anything, then they're just so hard on them. And you know, they only pay attention when the kids are successful. And sometimes not even then. Like, even when they do succeed, and so they're like, okay, but you didn't do it enough.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's something that's been taught for
centuries,
and I think it's instilled in a lot of our brains. I think it's instilled in my brain a little bit too.
You look at the stairs, and then you look at the outside, it's a chicken coop. The house is a chicken coop, and I love it. Because cause family sitcom style dad, he just can't deal with the emotional shit. It's like, that's not his forte.
Yeah, that's because nobody teaches boys to be sensitive, and you know, that's why I think that Chicken Little works as a male here, because we got like that, the generations of male toxic masculinity.
Say it with me, everybody! Generational trauma.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? He has green glasses, just like me.
Hey, what do you know? We got a connection here, folks.
So I make this wish. So ever since I saw that whole Disney A tribute to that song, and they had this scene.
He just wants one chance. He just wants one chance to prove to his dad he's not a loser, because his dad is the only one whose opinion he really cares about.
Yeah, the
Because
thing
his
is that
friends care about
we gotta-
him and don't give a shit about the fuck up. That like his dad's the only one who seems to care about any of it. Seems to. There's like honestly, his dad wouldn't give a shit if he didn't embarrass him. It's like, God, what an asshole.
40 round.
Bunny
Doggy
Wunny.
Woggy, Mousy Wousy.
It's a naming convention from the characters in the book.
Okay, this guy is just ashamed of coaches.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, some kids that show up at the swim school are small. That doesn't mean they're incapable of learning. You teach them what you can while they are at that size. Don't just dismiss them completely.
Yeah, just like, come on, dude. And we're not gonna give her shit. She's a bully.
Yeah, the highly athletic girl is a bully.
Cosmopolitan. Goddamn. Well, so was Amity, so.
Yeah, but Amity at least went through a character arc.
I mean, well.
We saw why
we'll see.
she was like that.
That is true. We never see Foxy's family. I think the only other family member we really get to see is Runt's mom. Song's loud right now.
I mean, he was in the right place.
Is this town so fucking bored or so proud of its, like, school sports that they
It's a
just...
small town.
Yeah. Do love the water animation. You know, like, that was some good water animation. Cartoon water animation with good texture.
Oh, hold on. Isn't it in the rules that every player has to play? Even just to come up to bat. I mean, yeah, I was in softball, and everybody would come up to bat.
Knowing the town, they probably don't have that rule. It's just, God. This whole town is full of bullies. Yeah, everyone's a bully in this town. That's a good point, squad. Like... Everyone.
Okay, that one's pretty legit.
Let's be fair, like, wouldn't you? But it's just it's just emblematic of the rest of the town's behavior. And why is the Secret Service here for the fucking mayor?
It's the mayor's Secret Service.
I guess.
The fact that you have that on you.
Hey, be prepared for anything. You know, maybe it's that they didn't get to him in the rotation. That's probably why he didn't go out to bat. They put everyone else in the rotation first. God. Even the Secret Service are assholes. I knew it. Trust no one.
He hasn't been up to bat once.
Because there's literally only 2 players left on the bench. God. Well, I mean, obviously not, because, like... Well, I mean, yeah, because everyone else is on a fucking... There's just 1 player at the plate. Like, at third or something. And he's like, you would listen to your coach, wouldn't you, right? Like...
You should listen to your coach,
Like,
because...
he is right. That tiny-ass strike zone, like... Right between his chin and his, like, his waist is like, you can't hit that strike zone that small.
And that's gonna bite them back. Okay, now, see, this is what the dad has to deal with every day, and he's buying into it.
Yeah, it's like, he doesn't decide to say, hey, like, what if that was your son out there? That's not your son, is it?
Yes.
No.
Yes, but he also does. But he also, he doesn't back up his son. But he's also hearing this every day.
God. It's not an excuse. It's an explanation, but it's not an excuse.
It's an explanation, not an excuse.
Good lord. I do love how they got the bulge in the hat. That was really good. And again, that wild take with this. I love his whole thing.
I would get frustrated. Like I would be like, I said, do not jump in yet.
I do think Morcupine Porcupine is one of the best additions to this. It's like he's a highlight. One syllable words that ends
even
with
a word.
O.
Morcupine. Is it?
No, Morcupine Porcupine is like Foxy Loxy or Goosey Lucy.
Getting into the whole Foxy Loxy Goosey Lucy Ducky Lucky thing that came from the and Henny Penny.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, only Foxy Loxy and Goosey Lucy actually get screen time.
Name dropped in the book even. Actually, I think there might have been a turkey character. Switch loyalty.
Oh yeah, Turkey Lurkey, right? Turkey Lurkey.
That's the sign. Like says.
That's the mayor is Turkey Lurkey.
I mean, they don't have the human king in this version, obviously.
Yeah.
Follow the crowd.
I forgot about.
I love his little signs. Eventually, like. You know, let's be perfectly fair. He hasn't been up to bat yet.
He's actually rounding home plate.
That's a good sound effect. I love that sound effect. The glasses. That's a good.
Because
I do love how they keep the horn out of frame there. I mean, it's the kind of thing that you would get from like a World of Animals, and then you get the fucking ball stuck on his horn. It's like, that's a good bit.
I mean, I don't think there's a rule that says you have to keep the helmet on while you're running.
The helmet is actually, I think the helmet is for batting.
Yeah, like, but you know, while you're running,
yeah. The helmet is for batting. You don't really need it afterward. Yep, but
I don't think the game would have been over anyway. I mean, it's a tie. They would have got another inning.
That is true. It's like, yeah.
And you know, I would have scored. Like, hey, if not for you, we wouldn't have gotten that tie run there.
That is true. It's like you'd be like, hey, wait a minute. But I mean, they got to make the point that he did something super impressive. And
that's the only time the dad is like, yes, that's my son.
I also do love that he crows there. It's like he doesn't like shout with joy. There's a sound effect in there. That's really funny. A lot of good sound effects in this whole movie.
Yeah, at first I didn't get the point of this whole thing, but then I get, yeah, because we had to see, yes, he finally did something great, but then when he does something supposedly insane again, nobody's behind him. Of course, except his friends.
Yep. It's like, we've been inundated with the fact that nobody was behind him except for his closest friends, of which he has 3.
Very same about friends. It's not about the quantity, but the quality.
It's not about the quantity, but the quality.
Thank you.
But when the rest of the town is up his ass, it's like, god damn, somebody give him a break at least.
I forgot about this.
And give him some credit.
You know, yeah, like, let him rejoice. He finally gets a win after a whole year.
And like, it's just, who hasn't done this kind of shit? Sometimes it's with a hair dryer, sometimes it's with a fucking hairbrush. Sometimes it's a whisk, but some days. Yeah. I can just hear it in the actor's voice. The actor is very, very Jewish. It's like you can just hear that in his voice. I guess that's one positive I'll put to Butt Cluck. But like, aside from that, it's like he's just a dick. And then like,
his acting is really good in this movie.
Yeah, no, like as far as comedic chops, the blind reads are really good. Just that the lines make him, like, a really awful person. Yeah.
And they're still not talking about
Sit
it.
and stew and that just not expressing one's emotions. Or at least not in front of each other.
As you boys are taught.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating. More men.
If we ever have a son, honey, if
more
Let's
boys learned to cry from an early age, they wouldn't be so emotionally repressed when they got older. Probably wouldn't need therapy nearly as badly.
Apparently, boys are actually more sensitive than girls. I mean, if you see something blow up over the simplest things.
Yeah, I mean, they just got to do something with those emotions, but if they bottle them up, they come out louder and worse later. Yeah, give them some, like...
Yeah. There's something more for us than this? I guess we're getting more than just this goofy chicken movie.
And it took us about this long in order to get to the point, get to the story. Well, actually, no, we kind of got to the story.
It was already kind of hinted at.
He thought a piece of the sky fell on his head, but it turned out to be an acorn, but now the truth is revealed. An actual active piece of the sky!
Shaped like a stop sign.
Well, I mean, I guess hexagons are close enough. Yeah. And that's the even weirder thing when you take a minute here. It's like yeah. Like, he is thoroughly convinced himself. Chicken Little is thoroughly convinced himself that it was just a fuck up and that it wasn't a piece of the sky. Like, he's convinced himself of the lie.
It's been a whole year, so... It's
been a whole year. He's convinced himself of the lie. And it's like... And then... Just... Yep.
And learning why we never found this piece of the sky again.
Spooky. Do love that they just gave him little dot eyes.
He's all feathery.
And they did this little thing where he has little brown irises, and there are little whites in his eyes, so he can, like, move his eyes. It's not like they're just static in there, but it's like, there is a real inherent adorableness in this design. Has anyone ever touched, like, one of those modern TV screens or computer screens and then gotten that effect on it? It's like, ooh. I know I have. Just a little scientific method here.
I mean...
Yep. Just a little bit of karaoke night with friends.
You know, you really gotta blame Shrek for having all this jukebox stuff in animated movies this time.
I'll be fair, the songs working in this movie don't actually, like... Like, you know... In Shrek, they're far more clever than most people would give them credit for. And in this movie, they do work. In fact, I think, like, a few of them are original songs. Or at least one little slip, like, is the one original song that I know is an original song.
Okay, now this is something I don't get, because the dad was, you know, just putting Chicken Little to bed, and then they were apparently expecting him over for karaoke night.
Maybe, Maybe he was gonna leave, like, after this, before this whole thing happened. You know, maybe he was gonna sneak out. Yeah. Yeah. At least he's honest about it.
Nah, Runt is self-aware.
Fish is having the most fun. He doesn't care. And they're just having this silly little conversation.
Oh boy.
Probably saving the budget for the bigger scenes, but also they're really animating these characters really well.
So, they had to put in the bathroom joke.
I think it was funnier than whatever fart joke was in one of the previous movies. I'm trying to remember what that was. Oh, he's done something. He doesn't know what he did, but he did something. Bum bum bum. This would make an interesting video game level, wouldn't it? Oh, this would make a terrible video game level, wouldn't it? His proof just flew away. And... yes, but also fuck you in this particular instance. Yeah, I get that most of the joke is he's fat, but it's still they're still good jokes. I don't think anyone ever they call him a loser, but they don't call him fat. They don't call him porky. They don't say he eats too much. The joke is just the visual gag. You know? So, honestly... Look at him. He's a veritable fucking orb. Like, what kind of comedy do you do with a character that shape? You know? I think Flounder was also that shape, but for underwater. Got me apologizing to inanimate objects. I mean, to be fair, Runt's legs are, like, not much smaller than the others' legs. Like, he, Abby, and Chicken Little all have legs of pretty similar length. Everyone in town has stubby little legs. They're your Disney cartoon animals, but in 3D this time and with wilder designs. And the decision to give Chicken Little dot eyes is just great. Gotta admit, this is likely a lot harder than it looks, doing all these simulations, getting it to look right. And for Disney's first full CGI feature, without Pixar's help, you know, they did good. They did really fucking good. You know, it's good. And here they come. And I love the little vibration on the fence.
God, now that I actually watched Alien.
He was gone, man. Game over, man. You're really just doing Alien. Anyone else ever see or even have one of those, like, Tesla balls there? Those little plasma balls? Those are really a lot of fun. Sparky, Sparky. We animated them pretty well, too. Like with the wave, the sine wavy thing and the electric bzz at the edge of it is like, it's so fun. The fucking organs and eyeballs. This really is good cartoon comedy right here. Nothing human or animal that I can recognize.
Fluffy guy.
It was really interesting, like, for all the spaceship levels in the video game version, they could have had this interactable moment and it would have been super cute. Just jump and then he goes, whoop, you know, like, that would have been cute. But hey, you know, can't have fun things in video games, I guess. And I guess he was just in a state of rest? Yep, whoop! Just love...
Man, that really just... Ah!
I love...
Jump scares before they became overplayed.
I love his little facial expressions.
Some tips if you have
You know that these animators just came off of doing fucking Home on the Range, as like Runts of the Litter's lip sync, you know, definitely felt very similar to like Maggie's there. They even got the sweat beads on his forehead. Like that's some subtle detail. They really did that. They did like Yep. Shaking his little booty. Not entirely positive that's how fish bones work, but okay. It is a cartoon. They found the guy. Yep. You know, if this whole movie is about miscommunication, here's the biggest of them all. Every planet has been conquered. And now, it's you. I like they made his face go pale. That was good. That was really good. What do you have to do in CGI in order to make someone's face go pale? To change a color on a model actively like that? That's like, it's gotta be like a button for that? Or like a slider? Can't even fathom what the fuck they're saying. And, oh, hello, little guy. Here's a big misunderstanding. They think their baby's been kidnapped. Other great examples of that squash and stretch. Just boink, boink. I mean, maybe the squash and stretch that they're pulling off here doesn't seem as impressive if you're familiar with VeggieTales, but like, come on. They went to the effort of making it work and look at that. Look at the way he just popped and then slipped. He didn't even move his legs. He just whoop. Also, the lighting behind Chicken Little was really good there. the lighting on this movie, like, some of it feels a little amateurish, like, right there feels a little amateur, but, like, it's not that bad. Like, for the most part, the movie's lighting is really good. Like, here, this is some really good lighting. The little dust clouds catching the light. It's really nice. And it is a good cartoon aesthetic. Like, I'll stand by the animation and the modeling and the texturing. Everything in this movie from a visual standpoint is really fucking good, and I don't think this movie gets nearly enough credit for it.
Okay.
I mean, it still holds up. It's good cartoon animation. And look at the way that
Okay, yeah. Just went out, so sorry about that.
That's all right.
Okay, so
Well,
here we are. We're back.
He did say tension makes him bloat. It is even funnier when you realize he is a fucking circle. He could have rolled down the hill, but he bounced instead. This is a... That's great. How well did that work last time? He's tried this shit before. Love this. Look at the way that the breeze being kicked up by the aliens is caught. Well, okay, not so much there, but like in a lot of the shot, the breeze being kicked up by the aliens like fan blade arms is causing like movement in the fucking crop. It's like it's really good.
The crop circles.
Yep. It's just the most efficient way to search for people hiding in a cornfield.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. I don't know. I've never made crop circles. I heard it's fun. And if y'all thought that this was unimportant earlier, setup and payoff, everybody.
Oh God! This is why we get a lot more vending machines that take credit cards.
This is such a great gag. Big guy also
And
means
who
strong.
hasn't had this
I love the
problem?
way his eyes got so big.
Yeah, just punch it out.
This is
I'm starting to think he's.
Honestly, it's pretty good.
I don't know, maybe, or like if he's biting on his emotions.
Look at the texture on the rope. You can see the hair's coming off of it. My God. For their first CGI, fully CGI film by themselves. Chicken Little.
And yet he doesn't actually say that line until later.
That is true. He made it up in his head, and then it comes back later. As if to confirm his worst fears. Which, you know, we're pretty much in a habit of confirming Chicken Little's worst fears all night. Between Venom and these guys, I think aliens just hate the sound of ringing bells.
Oh, I just realized he's in a bird
bath. Seriously, I love the zippy little animations. It's like, quick, get a camera crew. It's like, woo! Look at him go. Look at his little legs moving. You know, along with Turkey Lurkey's bird bath, Chicken Little also has like a tree house out front that's like just a birdhouse. This is a pretty good bit. Thank you, Don Knotts. That was a great read. Can you have a little more faith in your son than that for 2 seconds? 2 goddamn seconds, that's all I ask. Would it kill you to have some empathy? Good lord.
Oh, man.
And
Sorry, the internet is, on my end, is really bad today.
good lord. It goes back for the fucking penny.
I mean, I found like 26 cents in the parking lot today, so...
Neat. You see the leaves are still floating from the... yeah. Okay, chicken, like, what makes you think they're still there?
Hang on.
Good lord. It's just... his eyes are just getting bigger. You know, they probably didn't even make a second model. They probably just took Runt's model, put makeup on it and hair, different costume, and then just made her bigger.
Okay, that was... and it still said I was in the call.
Well, you're here.
Yeah, now I'm here, actually.
My god. For
I mean,
2 seconds.
Pressure on him. And see,
You're
and then he actually says it.
embarrassed. This is a good line read, though, coming up from Dawn. Hate the attitude, love the line read.
Jeez, see?
See, when Foxy is coming to console... See, if Foxy is coming to console you, you know you're an asshole! You know? At least you'd think, if the school bully is having some sympathy and empathy for you, just, you know, maybe you're the asshole!
He's had your back this whole movie. And she didn't even need an explanation about the sky is falling thing. She's had your back the whole time.
Yeah. Abby believed you. Runt probably believed you because he's a gutless flip-flopper, and Fish is just there to have fun.
Whether they believed them or not is a real question. But you know, they just didn't care.
They don't care. They don't care.
Like,
and
okay, so maybe
honestly,
it happened, maybe it didn't. Either way, we think
honestly,
you're a good guy.
And if they didn't believe him before, they certainly believe him, like, after the whole space panel was in his bedroom. It says speaking alien language, but you could hear, no. It sounds like emergency send help.
God. Because of lemmings.
Lemmings which don't throw themselves from cliffs, that was just a Disney nature documentary. They did something and they wanted something dramatic, so they threw a bunch of lemmings off a cliff. Assholes. Back.
And you know, see, look, he's kind of being harped on by the entire town.
Even his hate mailbox. Goddamn. Everyone. This is a good joke. You can only hear it out of your right ear. Yeah.
Right. And you know, that explains so much if that's who raised him.
She's probably, oh my god, I saw it all over the TV. When are you gonna take care of that grandson of mine? He's an embarrassment to the family.
So his mom's probably an asshole too.
Geez, honey, that was a really good accent.
Well, if Butt Cluck is Jewish, then
His mother's probably like, oh my god.
you know.
You sound like Rosie. And for some reason I'm really loving it. It's like, oh God, what's wrong with me?
Look, they even got his face to go red. Like, he's always got a song in his heart.
I mean, he has a whole Streisand collection.
Yep. Oh, here it is. Here's the moment when everything turns.
Fuzzy baby, fuzzy orange baby.
Fuzzy orange baby.
And he's so cute. And thank you, Monsters Inc. for getting that, fur technology. He's like, okay, I got this.
Spoilers! Some people have not seen Star Wars, believe it or not.
I knew it before I watched that thing.
Woof. His eyes really bugged there.
Romeo and Juliet die at the end.
They say that at the front of the play. That's not really like a spoiler, is it? A pair of two-star-crossed lovers take their lives.
See? And so that's the point. That's the point of this movie. That, like, everyone thinking that we could have solved this with, like, macho stuff or great feats of heroism, but it was really just...
It's all about
communication.
It's all about communication. It's all about talking it out. Talking. Abby is the only one who's had her shit together this whole movie. Like, for real. For real.
She's about to lose her shit, though.
Oh, yeah, eventually. We're getting there.
Oh, God.
They set up the fishbowl driver just for that gag, probably. And you know what? I can't blame them. That's a good gag.
Well, it shows that fish ain't the only fish around here.
That is also true.
The way they do that is just...
Mr. Puff. Don't ask questions you're not prepared to handle the answer to. Last line in the whole movie. Good line to go out on. Look at that. They got a fucking civilization they brought with them. Full veritable cities of spaceships up there.
They must really love you.
Yep. Now you believe him. And I love this moment right here. He's like, good for you, Chicken Little. Just get the fuck out of there. Get out.
Finally starting to realize what a shitty parent he is. At least Cluck eventually admits that he's a terrible father.
Given his track record, we understand why you don't believe him. This is also kind of perfect song placement, and hey, probably introduced a lot of kids to REM. It was a good band. Even if they didn't know it at the time. But yeah, it's a good song. And also just kind of on the nose, putting this song right here. Like, it's the end of the world! Of course it is. Can't you tell? The alien invasion's already happening. Whoops.
I remember the first time that happened, I was like, what?
It's like it's perfect cartoon jokes right here.
Also, because we were supposed to hate Foxy this whole time.
Also, for saying that it was on the nose for fucking... there's his ingenuity again. Going at it.
Hello, my little kitty cat. You mind with the fluffy, fluffy fur baby?
Now we got another Fluffy. Oh, they fixed the movie theater. Well, it has been a year, so I mean... But like...
Just silliness.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get, like, yeah, we're in a crisis here. Why are you... This like, not. I was like, okay, not that problem, but.
They're really.
What?
On top of that, he couldn't handle being bald.
I know, I heard it. But I'd be like, what?
Like. What are you gonna say for yourself, man? Come on.
Like, he's really got no excuse,
Exactly.
and he realizes that.
Like, just admit it. Just admit it.
The first step to solving a problem is admitting you have one.
Yep.
Yeah. This is why we gotta teach our boys to be sensitive to
Yeah.
other people's emotions.
You know what? God, no. He might be the worst dad ever, but he also has he has a pretty good turn. He's still not great. He's still not great.
At least he admits it. I mean, he's not the first terrible dad we've had, and he won't be the last.
True. True.
At the same time, though, like, this is crazy, right?
It is, absolutely. Bum, bum, bum.
I mean, he's still kind of making that tradition. He's like, yes, I'm totally going for this.
And
And I mean, isn't that kind of what we did here? Except without the alien invasion thing?
yeah.
By the way, honey, I always found you extremely attractive. Digital kiss. Mwah.
And she's absolutely lost her mind. Red alert! Abby has left the movie.
I mean, I am kind of disappointed that from that moment on, she's just kind of in La La Land the whole time.
Yeah, she's left the movie. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know anything. She's gone.
Tic-tac.
Huh? Whoop.
Yeah, like, because they're really too angry for you to just give.
Yeah. It's like, we can solve this non-violently. Good lord.
Hey, he's trying.
Those are pretty good lines. This whole exchange is pretty good.
Oh, that face. Oh, his face.
And then...
Okay, I'm kind of with him on that one, just saying.
It's nerve-wracking.
Like, yeah!
Oh, shit. I got him.
Now that was cool.
Slick thinking. Whoop.
And remember, he did used to be on the baseball team. Oops.
Yep.
Now they're getting on the same page.
Yep. I think this one will actually make for a really fun video game level.
Hi, kitty cat.
Look at him go. He's just sicko mode.
A little piano we got here.
Seriously, Run's expressions when his eyes bug out and shit.
Wait, there's only 5 floors on that elevator. Okay, it's 5 floors. See, there's no way that was 10 floors. You saw how big that building was.
Cartoons, am I right?
And there was only 5 floors on that elevator.
You know, I always get the feeling that whenever these people say that it's bigger on the inside.
That's right, it really is dangerous.
It is dangerous. But can you actually trust him? For 1 fucking minute. Never would have thought. Off they go. And there they are in the void. I wonder if Foxy's thinking about, like, how mean she's been to people in this time.
The Tic Tacs have been floating around.
Yep.
He's really
Man,
owning
these
that.
effects here are pretty darn good.
And the mama is Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Just how many times does she play a mom? And 90210. Communication.
Yeah, they're finally talking it out. Yeah. I do love how they're able to just get by with a lot of bunch of floating eyeballs and shit. Yeah.
Lack of communication.
Well, this guy, Fred Willard, God rest his soul.
I need to show you the 3 little pigs at some point.
Oh, yeah. And then...
Yep.
You gotta be kidding. Fucking eyeballs.
Patrick Warburton.
Hi, Patrick.
And he's a 3-eyed alien again.
Huh?
Oh, this
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
he really
it is
fell
that is
for her
pretty scary.
after she pretty much got Mickey Mouse.
Lobotomy,
She
basically.
pretty much got brain rewired.
Cartoon equivalent of a lobotomy, probably. Like.
It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it is. Yep. And everyone finally understands what's going on.
It happens.
Yeah.
Okay, this whole thing that happens is ridiculous.
Absolutely goofy.
And this is pretty much just making fun of themselves.
I mean, in a way, yeah, really, they really are.
Adam West.
God rest his soul.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Front, old chum.
Front, old chum, old buddy, old pal.
His voice just never really changed, did it?
Adam West? No, I mean, he did get... I mean, toward the end of his life, it was much more noticeable, but... No, his voice did not change a lot.
This whole thing's so silly.
Yep.
Ugh.
Good lord.
And he's loving this.
Mouthing the words to it. Not a little visual gag. He's sitting in 2 seats right now.
Yeah. Not really a gag. I mean, there's some overweight people who will buy an extra seat knowing that they will take up so much space.
Fair enough.
Oh, this is kind of cute. I think it's cute.
Yeah.
I mean, friends first.
Yeah, she's floating on
We get to know
cloud
each
9.
other.
She'll come down off her high eventually. I mean, we were kind of like that at the FNAF movie, weren't we? That's just silly. And that's even sillier. And again, really good cartoon animation, like, all around. Just...
Yeah, nobody cares. It's nothing like what really happened.
There's a lot on the cutting room floor of this movie that, you know, would have definitely resulted in a different movie. I don't know if it would have resulted in a better movie, but, like, it would have had a little bit of a different tone.
I mean, would you rather have the tone in the original short where the fox ate them all and then made tombstones out of the wishbones? Just saying.
Could have been probably would have been pretty funny.
No, I mean, you know, because the original story ended with everybody getting eaten by Foxy Loxy.
Not the version I read.
What version did you read?
It basically ends where the king explains that an acorn was all that fell on her head.
Nope. It ended It ended with Foxy Loxy saying, "Oh yeah, I'll take you all to the king." And then on the way to the king, he eats everybody one by one. And then the king never knew the sky was falling. And that's how the Disney store ended too.
That is true. The Disney store did end like that. It was really fun.
They stayed true to that ending.
It was really funny.
It was really dark. Everybody died.
Look at him go. Yep.
And you know, you can't end a Disney movie that way. I mean, you can have death in a Disney movie, but you can't end it on a fully depressing note.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like I know, like Mufasa died in The Lion King, but the guy who killed him got what he deserved in the end. So, yeah, I think, like you said, that you can show what you want to kids as long as there's a happy ending.
I love this little bit with Chicken Little here.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And this is sung by the Cheetah Girls.
Yep. Another song.
Shake,
another song that was...
Foxy Loxy? Oh, that makes sense.
But like, yeah, it was
Shake me up, baby.
Yeah, this is another song that was written for the movie original.
No,
but like,
no, because I'm pretty sure this song existed before, and this is a cover.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I think no, you're right.
Yes, because it was by Casey. It was by Casey and the Sunshine Band, or Murphy Lee. Or okay, apparently a lot of people have covered this song.
Character animation.
So yeah.
And look at them just showing off their 3D models just floating in space.
Shake your tail feathers. We're gonna get copyright strike because I can't help but sing this. No, okay.
I don't think
So funny story. I used to have an electric toothbrush that played this song, so I'd know how long was 2 minutes. Yes. So I would brush my teeth.
The check zipper sign.
To this song.
And I got hit by the panel. Bye, panel. But like, no, because like, honestly, for all intents and purposes, the movie isn't horrible. Like, there's some good.
It feels like a kids movie, you know.
That's probably its biggest crime. One little sip, bare naked ladies. That's right. Yeah.
So the Big Bang Theory. I know another Chuck Lorre reference because Amy Sedaris was playing Foxy Loxy. I mean, not Chuck Lorre reference yet. But
yeah, no, because like, there's some good gags. The animation and the entire art of the movie is excellent. Like, and I wouldn't even say for their first outing. Like, I'd say like this is just high quality. Like, okay, sure, most people have seen a lot of the Pixar movies and even like Shrek by this point, but like, it's good. This movie is really good for the animation and stuff. Like, look at the way that school bell is reflecting light. That's really good. That's really, really good.
Okay, and you know, not every movie has to be totally deep. I mean,
that's true.
Sometimes it's just for the sake of entertainment.
Sometimes let's just have a little comedy. You know, for all intents and purposes. And I think, like, ultimately, at the end of the day, the kids can learn that the kids can learn something from it. The kids can enjoy it. But I guess its biggest crime is that there is very little for adults to enjoy in this. And that's coming as someone who watches a lot of cartoons that are made for a younger audience. Owl House, Ghost of Molly McGee, Kim Possible. None of these ever felt like they were talking down to kids, and it felt like something I could continue to watch as an adult. Because there's more behind them. Like, there's obviously those jokes that only the older audience members would get, obviously. But like, also just in general, like, there's a tone and a vibe and a feel that allows it to hit different. Whereas this is, it's loud, it's fast.
The Lemmings.
Here I go, the Lemmings again. It's kind of unnerving just seeing them float dead, frozen in space. Anyway, but like, as it stands, it's like Hi, glasses. Hi, Chicken Little's glasses. And, oh, fucking eyeball. Eyeball. Eyeball.
Okay.
Eyeball.
Ugh.
Alien organs. Alien organs.
Yeah, I will say the gender things in here are a little bit iffy. And, you know, girls aren't always good at communication. Case in point, and I'm going to be very short about this, I was recently kicked out of a girl group, and apparently they had a problem with me, and they didn't tell me until they
This movie is dedicated to the memory of Joe Grant,
me about it.
1908 to 2005. Oh.
Yeah, he passed away. It's like,
God
so,
rest his
no,
soul.
girls aren't always good at communication. Sometimes they bottle up their emotions, too.
Yep.
But, well, you know, when it comes out, it's like, oh, yeah, we're totally justified in it. And maybe guys blow up a little bit more when it comes out.
That's nice. Hit hat fall on title.
Like I said, because guys...
Now they just end it with the old logo. I guess it wouldn't make sense for them to borrow the 3D logo from Pixar, which just confuse things. But yeah, no, that's the that's Chicken Little. Honestly, like, its biggest fault for me is that it doesn't have me wanting to return to it immediately, even for the animation being really good and a lot of the acting being really good and the line reads. And the structure of the movie is not bad, like, it's paced pretty well, if it is, like, a bit zippy and fast. Like,
Yeah.
even Emperor's New Groove allowed us to sit and breathe for a few minutes. Or even Cats Don't Dance. I'm comparing other Mark Dindal movies just because, like, the director is not at fault for the problems of this movie. Or at least he's not at fault for all of the movie's problems. It's like he can be held accountable for some of the funnier shit and some of, like, the more... And, like, you see, actually, another thing, you can watch Cats Don't Dance and watch the animation in this movie, and some of that zippy, like, bow, bow, bow kind of shit. You can basically see the 3D version of the animation in Cats Don't Dance in this, with some of the way the characters pop and their eyes bug, and then they just zip, whoop, whoop, which is honestly great. I think Disney's notes were probably just, make it more like Shrek, because it's like, Shrek is popular, make it more like Shrek. I say, okay, so more pop songs and more assholes, got it. It's really funny is that around this time, Disney was in a bid to renegotiate Pixar's contract because their contract was about to end. Finding Nemo or, like, Cars were gonna be like their last movie with them. And, like, Disney was like, okay, Finding Nemo is like, ha, Finding Nemo. This movie is so gonna fail. We'll be able to negotiate that contract with them. No sweat. Oh shit, it succeeded. Really, Game Busters. It won at the Oscars. Oh shit. Yep. So, yeah. So that didn't go so well for them. Eventually, they bought Pixar when Eisner stepped out and Iger stepped in, which we're actually pretty close to that because next week we have the first film in the Disney animated canon, executive produced by John, who must not be named. So, thank y'all so much for joining us on this crazy little adventure. And if you're viewing this after the fact, thanks for watching. Until next time, remember to take care, stay safe, and be kind in all that you do. Good night, everybody!